1,834 days was the last time the United States national team played a World Cup match. Now, the youngest team in Qatar is getting things started against Wales in their first World Cup in 8 years. Welcome in to State of Soccer. We will have live coverage of 11 World Cup matches, including USA Wales, to start things off. I'm Josh Sperber, joined by Carter Houlihan. And Carter, a lot of expectations, just a lot of emotions going around for this USA team. What are you feeling as we're about to get started here in Qatar?
Yeah, I'm excited. A lot of expectations, like you said. This could possibly be one of the best teams the U.S. has ever had. A lot of firepower, a lot of players playing in Europe, and I think Wales is a good start for us. I think it'll be a good test, but I think we have a good matchup coming up.
And as I said, the youngest team in the World Cup this year, an average age around 23, 24 years old. And the United States, they have some experienced guys, certainly a whole lot of youth, but both of these clubs are well represented in the international stage when it comes to club football, as well as some serious national team experience.
Yeah, agreed. Like you said, a lot of experience. And just to bring that up, we see that Tyler Adams wearing the armband. A young guy, but just the level of respect that he commands from the other guys, and obviously his resume playing in Europe, playing for Leeds now. I think it's an interesting choice, but I think it has a lot of potential and a lot of upside.
Yeah, one of the kind of later breaking stories as the U.S. team got ready for Qatar. A lot of people expected the captain's armband to just go right to Christian Pulisic because he's been a guy wearing that armband for quite a lot of the tune-up matches, and really he's been kind of the face of the U.S. national team. What do you think made that switch?
I'm not. I mean, obviously, that's something that Beerhalter knows. A lot of people have questioned his decisions coming into this. But I think that's something that allows Pulisic to have some of the weight taken off of him, as you mentioned before the stream. But yeah, giving other people an opportunity to be leaders. Everyone knows that Pulisic is already a leader, leader by example. But I think it's good to switch it up by giving these other guys the opportunity to show their leadership out there.
Yeah, I don't think Pulisic needs an armband for people to know that he is really going to be the go-to guy. A whole lot of weight on his shoulders, and he really seems to be the focal point of the U.S. attack when you look at how this roster breaks down.
Yeah, definitely. He's by far one of the most creative players in the lineup right now. Obviously at Chelsea, he's catching a little unfair criticism at Chelsea, I believe, right now. But I think this will be a good test to show him, that he's the guy for this nation. Obviously, we didn't make the World Cup in 2018, and I think he kind of took that. He took the criticism coming with that. I think he stepped up his game a little bit. I think he's stepped up his mental toughness, and I think he's taken the criticism with good heart and good strength to be able to lead this team now.
And when they call you Captain America, there's bound to be some kind of criticism.
Yeah,
Pulisic has been in some of the biggest clubs in the world, playing some of the biggest games, won a Champions League with Chelsea just a couple of years ago. So with that, there is going to come a lot of expectations. And as we've expected, Pulisic in the starting 11 for the United States. Let's take a look at those starters for both sides, beginning with the American side. And as you said, Tyler Adams named the captain. But what do you think of the starting lineup? A 4-3-3 formation for the United States squad. How does it stack up against really what you might have thought coming in?
yeah, I think it's strong. I like the center back pairing. I think it's two physical guys. Can win balls in the air, can body their attackers off the ball. But I think the key part is the midfield for us. It's young enough, but there is some experience in it with Weston McKennie. He's been a huge part of this team. And once again, I think it's very physical. I think that's going to be the key to the U.S. today. How physical can they be? Give what the ref takes them, but use it to their advantage.
Yeah, just a really strong defense in the three of that midfield. Yunus Musa, the youngest U.S. player starting a World Cup match. First time an under 20-year-old has started for the United States.
Yeah, he's shown loads of potential. Throughout the qualifiers, he was a key guy, and he's just special. He's one of those guys that doesn't get nervous when he's on the ball. He looks to go forward. He looks to create, and I think he'll be a key contributor to this U.S. squad.
So that 4-3-3 breaks down with Matt Turner in goal. Tim Ream, Walker Zimmerman in the center backs, Jedi Anthony Robinson, and Sergio Dest, the left and right fullbacks. Yunus Musa, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie in the midfield, Tim Weah up front, Josh Sargent on the left, Christian Pulisic on that right-hand side. And Josh Sargent might be a little bit, if there's any surprise in the starting lineup, I'd say it's him.
Yeah, definitely. We have a couple strikers, that are a little interchangeable. That's been the issue for us throughout qualifiers. Who was going to be that guy? Obviously, he didn't have a great Premier League season last year with Norwich, but now that he's in the championship, he's actually been one of their guys for Norwich. He's been playing well, so I think it's maybe a good call, especially against this Wales team, who some of the guys are in the championship. He's played some of the guys in the Premier League. He has experience against this team that Wales brought out.
Speaking of which, let's take a look at that Wales lineup. Really, we talk a lot about Christian Pulisic being the focus of the United States attack, and with a lot of pressure on his shoulders, the captain for Wales, Gareth Bale, probably the most decorated player in that nation's history. He is going to be the center of attention for this Welsh squad.
Yeah, agreed. And he's one of those guys, his career's taken a slight decline a little bit, but that just you shouldn't disrespect him because of that. He should still be marked everywhere. He's still their most dangerous player, and if we don't respect him, he's going to be dangerous. He's gonna make us pay.
Yeah, he was certainly disrespected by Real Madrid fans. I remember actually being in Madrid in his first season with the club, where he was just hailed as this kind of wonderkin, the record transfer signing. Since then, Real Madrid fans have soured on him. But as we saw, if you watch the World Cup final or the MLS Cup final match stream, in big moments, he gets it done.
Yeah, he does, and he always has. Champions League final, bicycle kick, 2 goals. He's a big game player, and this is a big game. This is a big stage for him.
And Bale, usually you see on the wings, but he is going to be in the center of that 3 in attack, a 3-4-3 formation for Wales. In the center backs, you have Ben Davies, usually a fullback. He is going to be on the left side with Chris Meffam and Joe Rodon. Aaron Ramsey in the middle of the park with Ethan Amfadu, Neco Williams, and Connor Roberts, and a lot of speed up front with Harry Wilson, Daniel James, and Gareth Bale.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the formation changes throughout the game. Whether or not when they're on defense, it's going to look like a 5-back. Because Netherlands did that today. They had 3 in the back, but on defense, it looked like a 5-back. Their fullbacks came back, but on the attack, they would push up. It would be a 3 in the back. So it'll be interesting to see how Wales utilizes their wingers today.
And with Bale in the center of that attack, again, he's usually a guy who patrols the wing. We saw him do it for LAFC during their MLS Cup run. How does that change the game, having him more in the center of the pitch rather than his customary wing position?
Yeah, I think he's a guy, like you said, who's normally out on the wing, but I think, that used to help him with his loads of pace being out there on the wing. But I think his skill set now is more centrally. He's still very good on the ball. He still has a great shot. He makes the right runs. But you need pace on the wings, and the 2 guys beside him have that pace. And if he knows where to be in the box, and those guys can find him, he's a very smart football player. And I think him being central instead of out on the wing allows the team to play to his style.
Yeah, and definitely allows him to pull the strings a little bit more.
Yeah.
But Daniel James is a guy who is only going to be on the wing. He is someone that a lot of these US American Premier League players are quite familiar with, formerly with Man United, now with Fulham just winning the second division of England last year. What does he bring to the table coming off that right side?
Speed, and a lot more speed. He is a guy that can fly. He'll be running up and down the flanks. He's good with the ball too. I will say the one criticism about his game is his final third decision making. He's not great in front of net, but that's why you have Gareth Bale there. If he can get down the line and put a ball into the box, I think that's the perfect role for him today.
And that seems to be is going to be how they are going to set things up. In goal, Wayne Hennessy and Matt Turner. What can you tell me about the goalkeeper matchup in this contest?
Yeah, I mean, most important position on the field, right? Matt Turner, someone who has experience in the MLS, moved to Arsenal. He has experience in Europe. I know he hasn't played a lot for Arsenal, but he's a great keeper. And Hennessy, he's a name in Europe. He's a name in England that people know. They got to do their jobs today, but they also have to be a leader from the back. I know neither of them are wearing the armband, but that, for football reference, they're the quarterbacks of the team. They pull all the strings. They decide the tempo of the game. So that it's going to be a big day for these guys.
And Turner really kind of came up out of nowhere for the United States. He wasn't really a heralded name. Zach Steffen, who unfortunately injury kept him out of the team sheet for this World Cup, not going to be here in Qatar. But Matt Turner really stepped up in the qualifying matches and some of the other big tournaments that the United States played in the lead up to the World Cup.
Yeah, I think he's deserved the spot. Like the striker position, the goalkeeper position was one of question who was going to start, but I think he's made it clear that he's the number one guy for this team.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of capable players for the United States in goal, but I think Greg Berhalter made the right choice with Matt Turner. He has stepped up absolutely in every measurable way for the United States. So now we are going to bring in the third member of our team who is actually on location in Qatar, our good friend, Brian McDonough. How's that fan village looking for you there, Brian? Clear the Wi-Fi connection. Not great in the fan village. But he certainly looks like he is repping his U.S. national team gear. Hopefully we can bring him in. 3 different countries represented on the broadcast team here. I know you're back in the States. I'm in Australia, and we have Brian on site in Qatar. We're going to hopefully bring him in to the match a couple of times. Tyler Adams, Gareth Bale meeting at the center of the pitch, getting ready to get things started over there in Qatar. But what are your keys to this game? What does the United States have to do to get things done in their opening match?
You got to utilize the fullbacks. Our fullbacks, Robinson and Dest, are fast. They're good on the ball. And with Wales's formation being a 3 in the back, there's those gaps behind the wingers and the center backs that our fullbacks need to push into. If we can do that good and get service into the box, there shouldn't be a problem.
And on the flip side, I know we're all American. That's who certainly we're supporting. We'd love to see who you guys are supporting in the comments. But for Wales, they had a tougher road to the United States. They weren't one of the automatic qualifiers coming to Qatar. What do they have to do to kind of get the monkey off of their back and help get things done?
I think they need to play to their strengths. I don't think they're a team that's going to be possession-based, that's going to hold the ball, knock it around, but they need to play to their strengths. They have fast guys up top, and they have Gareth Bale up top. Get the ball to those guys and let them do the work for you.
It's shaping up to be kind of a one-on-one battle particularly in terms of expectations, but I really think it's going to come down to Bale versus Pulisic.
Yeah, it's a great matchup.
Those are going to be the guys in the final third of the field. The United States will get the ball first. And with the kickoff, we are underway here in Qatar. The USA begins their quest for glory in the 2022 World Cup. First time in 8 years for the U.S., and they go right down the wing to get started. And two different formations, and you said there, Carter, attacking the wings is going to be key for the U.S. national team.
I think our wingers, Weah and Pulisic, are two of the strongest people on our team. I think service from the outside into Sargent is going to be a key for us. I don't see a lot of build up play in the middle. I think definitely going down the wingers is where our strong suit comes from.
And you have three wingers for the U.S. that both can play in the wide part of the pitch and also down the middle. So they're kind of interchangeable. Do you think we're going to see some fluidity in that 4-3-3 the U.S. is running?
Yeah, definitely. I think the people will be moving back and forth from the left to the right. I don't think they're going to be in set positions at all. I am interested to see how we're going to utilize Brennan Aronson, someone who's not starting today, but can play in the middle and on the wing, and has been playing well for Leeds. I'm interested to see when he comes on what his role is going to be.
A whole lot of depth on the benches for the United States national team as well, as Greg Berhalter is shown. If you're watching on the screen, stay tuned in to our stream, though, for up to the minute highlights analysis as we get going in this World Cup. And Weston McKennie controlling the ball. He was a guy whose status for this roster was in jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, just because you play at a big club in Europe doesn't mean you're automatically on the squad. You still have to prove it. If other guys want it more, then it doesn't matter what club you play for.
Suffering injury in the later part of his club season, leading up to this World Cup, playing for Juventus still, just signed on last year, extending his loan. But that injury, I mean, a squad without it, with him in it, really takes away a lot defensively from the U.S.
Does take a little bit of the star power out of it. He's the engine in the midfield, and without him in it, you're right. It would not be detrimental, but it would be tough to replace him.
And now a free kick, about 35 yards out for Pulisic. He's going to send a ball in, knocked back, and that's easily defended by the Welsh national team. Wales in their red jerseys, white numbering, white three stripes on the sides. United States, their white kits. What do you think of the jerseys in this World Cup? I know Brian and I had a little Kit World Cup video a little while ago. You can catch that one on our YouTube channel. But I want to hear your thoughts on some of the jerseys in this World Cup.
I think for starters, the U.S. I think they played it safe. Nothing bold, nothing crazy. Just a classic red, white, and blue. Not the greatest, not the worst. The one kit I do like is Germany. Germany never releases a bad kit for their World Cup. The white one with the black stripe going across the chest looks very good. It is. I don't know if I haven't watched that video yet, but a lot of the Puma kits look a little interesting this year, where the numbers on their chest are like around in a circle. But yeah, I think the kits are really nice this year.
Certainly a good group. And if you do want to watch that and some of our other videos, you can head to this YouTube channel. Plenty of them for you. A lot of lead-up content to the World Cup, but we're going to be pushing out a lot more World Cup content with Brian on site. And then we have 10 more of these broadcasts after today with Jill Gearin and myself leading the charge, and a whole lot of experienced color commentators with Carter on the side for this one. Now, Christian Pulisic on the left corner flag. First corner kick of the game for the U.S. Still scoreless in the 4th minute. Pulisic raises his hand and sends it in. Low in swinger, easily turned away by the Welsh. And the United States have really been controlling possession quite a lot in the early goings of this contest. That's
two set pieces now where struggled to get over to the first man. The United States wants to score, set pieces are going to be they're big in any game, so you need to make sure you execute on them.
And if you get more set pieces, there's just more chance closer to the net, and that's something that either side is going to need to take advantage of. But a free kick in a corner for the U.S., Wales really has not had too much time to control possession with the ball at their feet. He passed around the defense now. Sent forward towards Sargent, but it's knocked away. And it'll be out of bounds. Wales will get the throw in.
Obviously, England, made a strong statement this morning with their battering of Iran. So I'm curious to see if any tactics or mentality has changed from either USA or Wales just after the result of the England game. Um, England are definitely favorites for this group, but US and Wales still, if they want to get out of the group, they need to make a strong statement too, just like England did.
Yeah, a lot of people really just predetermining that England is going to take this group. They're one of the favorites, not just to win Group B, but the World Cup in general. A lot of people think that the ball is coming home this year.
Yeah, well, you never know. After today, they did look very good this morning.
For those of you who did not watch the England match, 6-2 the final score. England victorious over Iran. 2 goals from Bukayo Saka, an Arsenal standout, one of England's many talented young players. And that certainly kind of makes this game a lot more, just puts a lot more on both of these teams, with England already
Hmm.
+4 in their goal differential.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to go out of bounds, and a foul on Weston McKennie, who has a red, white, and blue kind of dye patches in his hair for this
Spending too
World
much
Cup.
time with Paul Pogba.
It's a good explanation. I don't think even Paul Pogba's hair is that colored up.
I do like it though. I like it.
I think the next stream I might have to do that to my hair as well. Get a little red, white, and blue dye going.
Yeah.
Ball going all the way back to Wayne Hennessy now, who sends the boot upfield. Wales really looking for those over-the-top passes to open up their speedsters on each wing. Now McKennie to Dest. Back up to McKennie. And you mentioned that you like the center back partnership of Tim Ream and Walker Zimmerman. They're doing a lot of passing forwards once it goes to the back. But how do you figure those guys will factor into the attack in this contest?
Yeah, I think defensively they're great. They're two big-bodied guys, but I think an underrated skill of them is their ability on the ball. They seem very comfortable on the ball. They're not afraid to hit the long passes, and sometimes the best attacks start from your center backs. They have a good vision of the field. Everything's in front of them. If they can pick out the right pass, it can really help.
And the United States, certainly a team that pushes up with their fullbacks, as down goes the captain Tyler Adams. Advantage played. And here's Adams again. U.S. really trying to open up Pulisic, but the Wales defense, they look like they're bringing 5 to the back now.
Yeah, I thought I had a feeling that they were going to do that on defense and have their wingers drop back almost into a five back.
And it's a bit more conservative approach from Wales at the start, but I like the U.S. really pushing the pace, trying to gain control of this game early on.
Yeah, they can't let it get to their heads. Wales isn't pressing; they're holding a good line of confrontation. So, the U.S. may be control.
A scary little pinball in front of goal. Now there's a chance. A cross in, a header, and it misses wide. Josh Sargent inches away from opening his World Cup account, and it'll be a goal kick for the Welsh.
It's promising.
They got the replay showing on the stream. A really nice cross from Tim Weah, and just kind of a scary little pinball action as that ball going all over the place, but a really good start and a nice kick save from Wayne Hennessy.
It's two dangerous balls coming in from the flanks.
And the United States really getting all of the chances early on. I certainly like what I'm seeing with the aggression of this U.S. attack.
Yeah, even
Team,
Pulisic there, he's still taking people on 1v1, and I think that's huge for him. As much as you can, take people on. Get the ball to your feet, dribble, and then make runs after you pass.
U.S. really looking for him to be that playmaker to get things towards the center from the wings, and that is something Pulisic does better than a lot of people. One of the better wingers in the world, despite the flack that he's getting over at Chelsea. I think Premier League fans just like sometimes can be a little bit hypercritical of American players, though.
I think so as well.
Still scoreless, 11th minute here, and the first yellow card is shown. Serginho Dest will get the yellow after a tackle on the Welsh midfielder Neco Williams. So first booking of the tournament for the United States for the right back, contracted to Barcelona, but on loan with AC Milan for the year. Defending champions of the Serie A in Italy.
Yeah, just got to be careful of that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe 2 yellows is a suspension, so it doesn't take a lot to get suspended.
2 yellows or a red card results in the ejection from the match and a suspension for the next game. And Serginho Dest is going to would be a really difficult man to replace in the U.S. side.
100%. He provides that attacking ability that you need from your fullback. As we see, like the game progressed throughout the years, fullbacks have gotten a lot more attacking and been involved in the attack. And I think that's one of his best attributes is his involvement in the attack.
He was crucial in the World Cup qualifying stage. Couple of goals, couple of assists as he got ready for the tournament, and another booking. Neco Williams falls again, and this time it's Weston McKennie who gets the yellow card. And this could be where the aggression goes a little wrong here, but looking at the replay, tackle from behind, a little touching of the feet as McKennie tried to dispossess Neco Williams.
Yeah, I think that card was deserved.
Yeah, those really tight. Those tight camera angles on the replays really show things, but Weston McKennie still trying to plead his case with the referees. Still scoreless, 12th minute now in Qatar, as it'll be a deep free kick for Wales. So 2 quick yellows. How does that, with 2 linchpins of the defense particularly, how does that, do you think, change the United States strategy going forward?
It's definitely going to make substitutions a little more complicated. You could have a person you want to put in a game plan to put in attacking guys, but with 2 people on yellows, now you got to be a little bit more cautious and think about who you're going to sub out and put in.
Obviously, substitutions probably won't happen in this first half, but it's the World Cup. You never know.
Yeah.
Long, high-arcing free kick ball. Well defended by the States, though, but Wales still in control. The high shot goes over the net. Not much worry for Matt Turner there.
Ambitious, but I think it is just good to get, the U.S. has been dominating the game, so sometimes it's not bad to take a rip from 40 out.
I mean, we've seen it go in. I've certainly seen Gareth Bale have one of those long distance shot attempts from his days at Real Madrid. Turner sends a big boot down the line, looking for Weah, but it's defended by Ben Davies. Middle of the pitch, still scoreless here in the 15th minute in Qatar. United States in their first World Cup since 2014. And 2 different outlooks in the group. In that 2014 group, I remember it being called the Group of Death, with the eventual champions Germany and Cristiano Ronaldo's Portuguese side. But the U.S. really have come into this as one of the favorites to come out of Group B here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think U.S. and England, after the draw, everyone expected them to to get out. But I have seen a lot of people doubting the U.S. I've seen a lot of predictions where Wales finishes over the United States and makes it into the qualifiers. So I think this game will kind of like determine. Um, Obviously, there's 3 games; anything can happen. But the winner of this game may be seen as the other team getting out of the group.
And both kind of looked as dark horses in the World Cup. We mentioned that England seems to be one of the favorites. But the United States and Wales, both teams that a lot of people think could surprise some of these more experienced and more developed European sides.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a little underdog story.
Nothing that the U.S. aren't used to. We will have both of the U.S.'s remaining World Cup matches in the group stage, but tomorrow, Mexico and Poland at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the day after Thanksgiving, USA, England. I know that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Yep, me too.
Carter's going to be with me. Carter's going to be with me for Belgium and Canada on November 23rd. And it'll be Jack Rigby and Adam Turner, 3 different players, 3 different color commentators for the U.S. matches. But we just have too many guys that know soccer a lot better than I do, joining me for the whole rest for a lot of these matches.
I actually I have Belgium as my favorites. It's a little bit of a bold call, but they should be doing pretty well in this tournament.
It's the last year of the golden generation.
I know.
A lot of people will think, and Belgium, not before this influx of talent with Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois, Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne. Not a lot of people were picking them as constantly at the top of the heap.
No,
but 3rd place in the last World Cup, and it seems like with age, the talent, the golden generation, as they're calling it from Belgium, getting even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure to make your voices heard in the comments. We want to get you guys involved as much as possible in these games. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Looks like we have a bunch of American supporters from the comment section, but we want to hear from you guys all tournament long. 11 knockout stage matches, or group stage matches, I should say, before we get set for the knockouts. Tim Way has got it down the right side. Saves the ball back to McKennie. U.S. looking to push towards the middle, but it's taken away by Ben Davies in the Welsh defense. Pulisic now on the left side, still scoreless in the 19th minute. Down he goes, but looks like there will be no foul called, and Pulisic can't believe it.
Yeah, just a little shove to the back could have gone either way. Wasn't the hardest of shoves, but it certainly could have been called as a foul.
Some interesting refereeing decisions. I personally don't think that those yellow cards were warranted as yellows, but certainly fouls called and clear contact in the attacking third, and the ref keeps the whistle in his pocket. 20 minutes gone. United States in control when it comes to possession thus far, but still scoreless. Wales really trying to slow the game down from their back line, while the U.S. pushing the pace, the youth, the speed, playing a big factor for the red, white, and blue. Ball all the way back with Turner. Now Dest on the right side. Here's Walker Zimmerman. Back to Ream. Now Dest. Slowly pushing towards the midfield. Here's Weston McKennie. Nice moves. Looking to free up Weah, but Wales doing a good job of just pinching in on those wingers, not letting them get free. 72% of the possession early on to the United States. Only the one chance on goal from Sargent, but U.S. clearly in control in the early going here.
Yeah, it's never a bad thing to have a lot of the ball. Um, really calm in the back when passing, and we're picking the U.S. is picking their moments right when going forward. I mean, sometimes it's not going to work out like that pass to Timothy Weah, but you still have to make those passes, even if they're not going to work out all the time. You got to stretch out the team a little bit.
And again, it's they're the ones picking the passes. They're not just like, look, this guy is the only one forward. Let's try and dump it to him.
Hmm.
United States just in no panic, just great, just great offensive football coming from the USA. Twenty-second minute now, still scoreless in Qatar. United States opening up their World Cup. First time since 2014 in Brazil. And they ran into that wall that was the Belgian Red Devils in that contest in the last match USA played. One of the best goalkeeping performances that I'd ever seen in that 2014 knockout stage classic.
Yeah, still remembered to this day. Tim Howard was just on another level that day. I think record 14 saves, if I'm not mistaken. But that just showed Belgium's dominance in the attack. As bad as it was, and as much as I was hurt as a United States fan to lose that game, I think Belgium definitely deserved that.
I mean, just the fact the USA were still in that game with just the onslaught of the Red Devils,
Yeah,
it was unbelievable, really.
yeah, and a late goal to try and come back a little bit. Fortunately, it was a little too late, but just kind of showed the heart that we had that game.
But a lot more on the shoulders that game. Many thought the United States was lucky to escape the group of death, and now, as we've said, U.S. are a pick by many to come out of this Group B. 23rd minute now, U.S. controlling from the back. Looking for Robinson. And those fullbacks of the United States can go very deep into the attacking zone.
Yeah, they're flying up the flanks, and I think that's a great tactical call by the staff. Like I said earlier, I think that's just one of the keys to how well this U.S. team works together. Fullbacks are fully involved in the attack, and I really think that's going to help us out, not only in this game but in the later games as well.
And obviously, you need a good combination between offense and defense. And we mentioned the USA, the youngest team at the World Cup in Qatar, and they are certainly playing like it. A lot of pace behind this U.S. attack, and they're quick to stifle Wales's best attacking position there. But here come the Welsh. Williams sends it backwards. They're looking for Bale in the middle, and he's dispossessed by Walker Zimmerman. On the left side with Davies as a foul called. Looks like Tyler Adams is the culprit.
Yeah, and Wales may not have a lot of the ball or a lot of chances this entire game, but the longer it stays 0-0, the easier it is for the ball to slip back into that net and Wales get the lead. So the U.S. have to be very critical of taking their chances when they come. The one in the first 10 minutes with Sargent's was good promise, good potential. It's a good sign for the rest of the game, but those are the type of chances that need to go into the back of the net.
And he's kind of the unsung hero in the U.S. attack. A lot's been said about Tim Weah, his family history. in the United States, and obviously Pulisic, people forget about how good of an attacking option that Josh Sargent is.
Yeah, he's been playing great for Norwich this season, and like I said before, a lot of guys could play up top. Pepe, I know was a candidate, but I think Sargent has proved that he can be that guy and kind of be a good complement to Way and Pulisic.
Yeah, Gio Reyna, a guy that I thought was going to be starting. That seemed like a no question. Jesus
Yeah.
Ferreira really came on in the World Cup qualifying matches, but it's Sargent getting the nod alongside Weah and Pulisic, and he certainly earned his place in the starting lineup when called upon. He's had a really good run of play so far.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that makes the U.S. more dangerous than other teams is the interchangeability. I don't think we'll have the same starting lineup for any of the group stage games. There are guys that are interchangeable. We can throw in the winger up top. We just have a lot of depth, a lot more depth than other teams have.
I think there might be like somewhere between 3 and 5 guys, goalkeepers excluded, who will just be in every match. I
Hmm.
can't see either of the current fullbacks coming off. Pulisic, McKennie, Tyler Adams, the captain. These are guys that you expect to be starting in every single match, but a lot of options for Greg Berhalter in the United States.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he manages with that.
And in the comments there, make sure to stay engaged with us. We want to hear from you guys who you think should be other options in the U.S. starter. Do you think that this starting 11 is kind of a good template to go forward? We want to hear from you, so make sure to join in the comments there throughout these group stage matches that we'll have on State of Soccer. 28th minute now, still scoreless. It's Gareth Bale sending it forward to Aaron Ramsey, who knocks that back. And Ramsey and Bale have really been the pillars of this resurgent Wales team, a team that was kept pretty quiet and really out of a lot of conversations for international football for a number of years. But Ramsey and Bale have played with some of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah, and both of them are not the players that they used to be, but still they have enough quality to lead this team. And anything can happen in the group stage. And those aren't the two worst guys to have leading your team, not at all.
A low cross in from Jedi Robinson gets deflected. And now it's Wales again. That ball knocked away, going all the way to Matt Turner. Here's Dest. And USA continuing to play from the back. It seems like they're trying to lull Wales to sleep and then really hurt them with a quick attack as now Musa turns on the Jets. Putting it towards the middle. Dest looking for help inside. The long distance shot goes way over the net. Like the aggression from Serginho Dest there.
I don't know if his teammates did. Saw a lot of arms in the air after that one, but hey, a shot's a shot.
United States with really all of the chances. Wales, no shots on target just yet. USA, one of their 4 shots on target, and that came from Josh Sargent just about 20 minutes ago. USA pushing the tempo. A nice chip pass from Wayne Hennessy. Falls out of bounds. The ball still in the USA's attacking third here as we approach the 30-minute mark. USA seems to be ratcheting up the pressure in the final 20 minutes of this half. Increased press forward as they try to get themselves another chance. Here's Dest cutting towards the middle. Loses control, and he gets it dispossessed. Pulisic gets it back, though. Now it squirts all the way back to Tim Ream. The center backs and the keeper really just slowly starting the party in the opposing half of the field. 30 minutes have elapsed in the USA's first group stage match. We are still scoreless in Qatar. England already jumped out in front of Group B. USA looking to get on the score sheet as well.
Not a bad first 30 minutes at all for USA. I've really liked what I've seen from them. I think Wales knows what they're up against and kind of sitting back. They're bending, but they're not breaking. But USA is really pushing the attack, trying to get this goal before halftime.
Wales clearing it away. A man knocked down, but an advantage will be played until now. Another foul called, and Tyler Adams and the United States not happy with the officiating in the early going. Wayne Hennessy will take the clearance for Wales. This one is sent into the U.S.'s attacking third. Here's Yunus Musa. Pulisic and Bale have been kept pretty quiet for half. A couple of touches for each of them, but neither of them have had those impactful one-on-one touches for too long.
Yeah, I think both teams haven't done the best at finding their key players, but also Pulisic and Bale need to put themselves into positions. They can't just stand there and expect people to give them the ball. They need to put themselves in the best positions for their teammates to help them out.
Tyler Adams with it, as the United States had a flicker of attack, but now we'll go back towards the center circle. Here's Adams again, looking to set something up for the U.S. Not a lot of movement in that attacking third right now. Sargent all the way back to Ream. Now Dest. USA looking to make a push forward. Zimmerman all the way in the attacking third. Ream the lone man back. And Wales really clamping down on defense.
Yeah, the
all
movement
11
is very stagnant from the front five from USA right now. Not a lot of movement up top, making it easier for Wales.
Now they're going to get a free kick. Tyler Adams arguing for a yellow card, as it looks like Chris Mifam knocked an American player down. United States. They wanted a card for Mifam here. You see in the replay, he just lowered his shoulder and knocked Pulisic right over.
Yeah, that was a little unwarranted. I mean, it's all about consistency when you're the referee and you're gonna hand out 2 cards for USA, but not Wales.
I think lesser offenses than what we saw from Mifam. That looked a lot more like an American football play. But it's Pulisic taking the second corner of the game. USA with a chance. 34th minute looking for their first goal. Low arcing ball. The header misses everyone, and it's knocked away by Davies. Nice move by Robinson to cut back, and now he'll send it all the way to that left side. Pulisic towards the center. Chips a pass in, knocked away. USA starts the attack over. Here's Yunus Musa now. Pulisic looking to make a cross in, but Wales has everybody stacked in the 18-yard box. Really conservative defensive play from Wales in this first half so far, but it's getting the job done. Adams sends a long ball in, looking for Weah, who can't get his foot on it, and it's a goal kick. Weah might have been offsides anyway on that, but either way, the score stays 0-0 in the 35th.
Yeah, not bad movement there from the U.S. Getting guys into dangerous positions, but once again, the final ball just isn't getting there. Need to be a little bit more clean on that final third with their decision making.
It just seems like the USA zeroing in on it. Just that last bit of touching needs to happen. There's one for Weah, and he gets it in! Tim Weah opens the scoring for the USA! We talked about needing those passes in the final third. There's a beauty of one. Slicing like a hot knife through butter in the Wales defense. And Timothy Weah makes the USA in the lead, 1-0. And look at this ball movement. You see in the replay here. Anthony Robinson cutting through everyone in a perfectly executed run by Weah.
And he's well on sides too. No overturning that one. It's a great ball.
He was behind the defender. Love seeing it in the comments. We both talked at the same time. That's the problem of being in different countries.
Just a composed finish. Goalkeeper rushing out, a guy on his back. He had time to pick his head up, decided to flick it with the outside of the boot right into the bottom corner. Well done.
Son of George Weah, an African soccer legend. Jamaican mother, Liberian father. George came to the United States after a long stint with Paris Saint-Germain, among other teams in his storied career. And now his son, Tim, carrying on the family name with his first American goal in the World Cup. USA, a 1-0 lead, and now the pressure is on the Welsh. We've seen Wales sitting back a lot. I didn't even kind of come to them. There they paid for it. They might have to switch up their tactics here, Carter.
Yeah, I think that goal right before half is definitely going to change the minds of the coaches during the halftime talk. For USA, they can be a little bit more relaxed, can make some different substitutions now, worry about those yellow cards. But right before half, getting that goal is huge. And for Wales, now they need to rethink. They can't just sit back and defend anymore. They need to push for a goal. So there definitely needs to be something done tactically.
And for Wales, they should be very wary of the United States counterattack potential. That's how that goal happened.
Yeah. I mean, you want to limit the damage, just because goal differential is so important in this tournament. But obviously a tie or a win's better than a loss, but you don't want to go down 3 or 4-0 like we saw earlier in the England game.
In England, the next opponent for the United States, they controlled early. Whole lot of goal scoring potential there. USA certainly wants to get those 3 points for a date with one of their biggest international rivals. I know every time I think of a USA-England match, Carter, I think of that 2010 game with Joe Hart in goal. One of the most embarrassing. I don't remember if they ruled that an own goal specifically, but that really saved the U.S. in there.
Yeah, we've got the better of them in previous years, but this match will be. I'm really excited for it. The battle of soccer versus football.
Yeah, it'll be a whole lot of fun as Yunus Musa down. And a yellow card is picked up, and I believe that's going to be shown to Gareth Bale. And it is.
That's what Musa is so good at. I think being really young, his game isn't perfect, but he's not afraid to take those driving runs forward. He's a lot quicker than everyone, and does well with the ball. So not being able to find those passes, you can just drive with the ball and build the attack that way.
Yeah, that's certainly a similar way that Gareth Bale, who got his first yellow of the World Cup, has been in the past. The Welsh talisman on a yellow now, as we're about 5 minutes from halftime. 1-0 the score. United States in the lead thanks to Anthony Robinson and Tim Weah. And another chance as Pulisic tries to slice through 3 defenders. He's looking for the cross, but it's caught by Hennessy. No trouble there for the Welsh man between the pipes. Foul called, no card there. I think Wales is going to try and push this forward. It's Anthony Robinson who knocked down Bale. And you can see the urgency back on for this Welsh side. Just a lot quicker tempo. They're really trying to push it forward, but United States still holding strong for the time being. Wales playing it out of the back. A nice header forward, looking for James, but no dice. And the Welsh midfielder goes down. Quick free kick for Wales. Here's Aaron Ramsey, and a great defensive play by Walker Zimmerman, dispossessing Ramsey and keeping the ball in bounds to prevent a corner kick. Now the captain, Adams, sends it forward. Slight miscommunication with Pulisic there. And now Gareth Bale has it taken away from him with the head of Walker Zimmerman. Musa, back flick. On to Adams. Named the captain for the United States yesterday. And the United States really trying to stretch this end of the first half out. 3 minutes to go. USA with a goal lead.
Yeah, no need for the United States to do anything crazy here. Just get into halftime relaxed and calm. Don't waste your energy. Don't do anything crazy. But for Wales, I think it's time for them to start pressing with 3 minutes left. Try and get a goal to equalize it right before the half. But they still are just sitting back and holding that line of confrontation. Not a lot of speed or pressure from them.
Certainly, you can sense a more like a greater sense of urgency for Wales, but again, it's still the United States controlling the majority of this possession. They're still not sending a lot of guys forward.
Yeah, for Wales, I think they just need to find the thin line between panicking and then stepping up their urgency a little bit, because it's not time to panic. There's a lot of game left, but still, you can't just sit back and defend with 5 in the back for the rest of this game.
Aaron Ramsey controlling, chips a pass. Now he gets a nice run forward in a dangerous position on the right wing, but the ball goes out of bounds in large part due to Anthony Robinson. And it looks like the Welsh will have their first set piece of the day. A corner kick late in the first half. 1 minute to go in regulation time, and it's going to be Wilson standing over it. Gareth Bale in the center scored on a corner kick to equalize late in the MLS Cup final for LAFC. Will he be the target of this corner? And here he is, but easy play for Turner. The ref coming in late, and now he's having a conversation with Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale. So we'll do the corner once again. And the in-swinging ball. The header misses. Couple players on it. United States with a large group of guys in the 6-yard box. Good defense by the States to keep this game at 1-0.
Yeah, you got to stay composed. I think that's how Wales are going to get a lot of their chances off set pieces. We haven't really seen a lot from them during the open play. So set pieces is where Wales are going to get their chances from. So the U.S. needs to stay composed and and disciplined on them. They did a nice job there.
United States maybe looking for one final goal. 4 minutes of extra time thanks to a goal and 3 yellow cards across both sides in the first half. McKinney and Dest getting getting one apiece for the U.S. And then Gareth Bale getting a yellow card just a few minutes ago. USA in the attacking third now. Here's Robinson. Backwards for Musa, who has been unbelievable in the midfield. And you talked about it before this match, Carter, how important that U.S. midfield was going to be. And they've really been pulling the strings today.
Yeah, they're the rock of this team, the engine that makes everything work. And the effort on display today, the decision-making has in large part been good and, started that counterattack. That counterattack was almost flawless. And I think, the movements from the midfield, the passes from the midfield to get it up to there worked out really well.
2 minutes left in extra time. 1-0 the score. USA in the lead as Serginho Dest controls it. United States really parking the bus in this waning minutes of extra time in the first half. Now they'll push forward slightly with Zimmerman. But he is just daring Bale to come in and challenge him. A nice move for Sargent to get free, but he's brought down. And there is Mifam, who looks like he's going to get the second yellow card of the match for Wales. And there it is. He took down Pulisic, lowering his shoulder, and this time pulls him down by the jersey. And now no choice for the referee but to take the yellow card out of his pocket. 4 yellows, 2 for each side in the first half. A minute 30 to go in extra time. USA in the lead. Long ball looking for Robinson, and that's going to bounce over his head and out of bounds for a goal kick. 1 minute remaining in this first half. USA with a 1-goal lead thanks to Tim Weah in the 36th. Williams tries to switch the play, knocks it out of bounds. USA will get the ball back. 30 seconds left in extra time. Want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Want to hear your guys' thoughts on how the first half went. Sure, there's a lot of American fans, but we want to hear from everyone, so make sure to stay active with us in the comments section as this first half is just about to come to a close. United States get a quick strike in the 36th minute. Robinson to Weah, and said we'll head into the locker room in the first half with a 1-goal lead. A good start for the Americans, and they head into halftime with a lead. We're going to take a quick break for halftime. United States 1, Wales 0. You're watching the World Cup here on State of Soccer. We are back. Josh Sperber, Carter Houlihan here as the United States getting themselves on the good foot. A Tim Weah 36-minute goal opens the account for the U.S. in their first World Cup in 8 years. Carter, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, great first half from the U.S. A lot of good football being played. My main concern for them, like I said earlier, just cleaning up the final third. We saw it with Sargent. We saw a couple balls from Pulisic that didn't get over the first man. It was a great goal we scored, but just got to be able to take the chances when they come. Defense has been good. I mean, Wales hasn't posed much of a threat so far, but keep doing what we're doing. Keep doing. And for Wales, there definitely needs to be either formation change or tactical change or some subs because their attack is non-existent right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they line up coming out of halftime.
And the United States doing an excellent job just neutralizing Gareth Bale. He has been a non-factor for the Welsh in this matchup, and that has been crucial.
Yeah, I mean, besides his yellow card, I think that was his only highlight. But still, at any moment he gets free, he could be dangerous. So just keep making him a non-factor, and I think the U.S. could see the rest of this match out.
And we talked about the importance of the midfield really pulling the strings, being kind of the heart and soul of this American team. And that has certainly proved true in the first half. Yunus Musa doing a great job. Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams getting involved as well. But it's been the fullbacks that have really kind of pushed the tempo for the United States.
Yeah, they seem to be flying up the flanks. I think they've done a great job of getting high and getting involved in the attack. And even when they have the ball and deep in their own half, they're picking out the right passes, either to switch the ball or find a check into the midfield. Just a lot of good decisions from the fullbacks so far.
Yeah, it's been Test and Robinson who have been the lead of this offense thus far. All Americans, as American soccer fans, we often feel out of place in a country dominated by other sports. Recently, though, we have found a solution. GOLZ is a brand new soccer-exclusive video streaming platform made exclusively for fans of this beautiful game. Finding a community with the same passion for the game as you should not be hard work. Find the content creators you enjoy without ever having to type the word soccer into a search bar. GOLZ is completely free to use and holds thousands of hours of soccer-related video content for you to watch. Sadly, the World Cup will come to an end, but at GOLZ, the whistle never blows. Go to golz.tv to watch free soccer content today. That's GOLZ.tv. Stick with us in the halftime show. We want to hear from you guys in the comment section, but Carter and I will have a breakdown of what more to expect from the second half as we take one more short break in the half of show. You're watching the World Cup here on State of Soccer. We are back on State of Soccer, not too far off of the second half, but the United States are the ones out in front. 1-0 the score after Tim Weah's goal. We talked about the importance of the midfield and the defense so far, and the goalkeepers have really been a non-factor, Carter.
Yeah, Turner's done a great job of just staying calm, being relaxed, and with Zimmerman and Ream ahead of him, he hasn't had a lot to do today. And it's never a bad thing when your goalkeeper doesn't have a lot of saves to make. I think for the U.S., the key coming out for the second half is really trying to find that second goal. I'm concerned that they may be a little lackluster or hesitant to attack and just relax on the ball a little bit. But the second goal is really important. And just because Wales hasn't had a lot of pressure up to this moment, you can't get too relaxed in a sense.
Yeah, and we talked about how aggressive the United States was coming out. And after they scored the goal, they certainly kind of calmed down a little bit. Not as many chances, not really trying too hard to make things happen in the attacking third. How do you think they approach when they go out in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fine to take your foot off the pedal when you get that first goal. But it's only one. At any point in time, Wales could tie it up. So just because you have that goal doesn't mean that you can slow the tempo 100% down. US needs to keep going at people 1v1, keep their high line, keep putting balls into the box because the second goal is ultimately a closer, in my opinion, in this game. If they get a second, I don't see them losing.
And we talk about how important goal differential is. England with a +4, US +1 right now. A second goal could do wonders. One substitution for Wales, a guy who we talked about his speed would be important, but has not really come into the game. Daniel James will come out for Wales, be replaced by Kiefer Moore. What does that change up for the Welsh side?
Yeah, I mean, obviously something wasn't working in the attack. Most of their attackers were a non-factor. So I'm interested to see if we'll see a little bit of a formation change now with Dan James coming out, and the tactical change that Wales brings in to this next half because they definitely need to create more attack than the first half.
Well, the second half has got started. Just the one change, as I mentioned, and it's United States getting the ball quickly off the kickoff. Pulisic racing forward. Gets it on the left side. Musa tries to cross it in, and within 1 minute, United States have corner number 3 of the match. Yunus Musa deflecting it off a defender. We will have a corner kick.
It's not a bad start to the second half for the U.S.
Certainly, they look every bit as aggressive as they were in that first half.
Mhm.
And the United States have a corner again. Here's Pulisic. In swinging ball, headed away by the Welsh. And the U.S. will maintain possession. There's Weah, now on the wing after scoring the first goal of the match for the U.S. Toying with the Welsh defenders here. But the United States elect to go all the way back to Zimmerman and now getting Turner involved, his first touch in the second half. McKinney sends it forward. Weah, will let it go. I think he would have been offsides if he got his foot on that. Well, you're watching State of Soccer. We'll have a whole lot of World Cup action. 10 more games of this group stage, including all 3 U.S. matches, with this one getting a United States early lead. 1-0 to score. Kiefer Moore getting his first touches of the match after coming on for Daniel James. Good defense by Robinson, a Fulham man who has emerged as a crucial piece in the United States defense. Really pushes the tempo forward and a solid guy in the back third as well.
Yeah, we can see this increased pressure from Wales now. It looks, I could be wrong, but it looks like they're running with a two up top, and they're not holding a line of confrontation anymore. They're actually going to press the ball, which is what they have to do being down 1-0. They can't just let the US pass the ball in the back the entire half.
And just a lot quicker passing from Wales as Tyler Adams is flagged for a foul. And you can certainly see the urgency. I don't know. It just doesn't, the United States just seem to be too quick for this Wales team. A lot of speed in every aspect of the pitch for the United States. Pulisic fighting for it. Him and Ben Davies, Mifam, excuse me, a nice combination as a long ball is sent in to the secure hands of Wayne Hennessy.
Interesting choice there from Pulisic.
And really the two main guys, the guys that you would expect to be putting in all the goals, getting a lot of the hard yards, and Pulisic and Bale have been pretty quiet for both the United States and Wales, but the rest of the United States side has certainly stepped up.
Yeah, and I think that just is testament to how much improved this United States team is now. A couple years ago, even back in 2014, we relied too heavily on the big name players. But even with a quiet half from Pulisic, we get to see how good everyone else on this team is, and that other guys can contribute and not just Pulisic.
And Tyler Adams makes a nice clearance. That'll end up with a corner kick for the Welsh side. Be taken once again by Harry Wilson. Bale's looking to get three in the middle there. In swinging ball, knocked away by Turner, still loose. And it's cleared out of the 18-yard box. A close call for the U.S. on that corner. That looked to be the most dangerous that the Welsh offense have been. As we see the replay, Turner couldn't get a clean glove on it. Fell, actually. And some contact from Kiefer Moore, Gareth Bale in there as well. And it is still 1-0 USA as we have 5 minutes elapsed in this first half. A nice pass down the left side for Musa. He's looking in for the cross. Cuts in towards the middle. Low cross, knocked away. Controlled by Pulisic. Pulisic cuts to the right side, dispossessed. Now Ramsey sends it forward. Down goes Bale. And that is going to be a third yellow card. Tim Ream is shown a yellow. So that's McKinney, Ream, and Dest who have been shown a yellow thus far.
Yeah, and unlike the first two yellows, I think that one was more of a tactical foul. Wales had a couple numbers going up the field, moving the ball with pace. So I don't think the U.S. can be that mad about that foul.
And it was Gareth Bale who was brought down. And when you give him open field, there will be trouble. There's no two ways about it. Roberts will take the throw in. United States still with a 1-0 lead here in the 52nd minute. It's been a lot more even the first half, but the USA really dominated possession in that first half. Second half, Wales is putting a bigger sense of urgency, though, as a long pass eludes everyone, and the ball is headed back to Turner by Tim Ream. But Wales, a lot more threatening attacks in the early goings of the second half. Robinson has it knocked away, and now Roberts will begin the clearance process for Wales.
Yeah, the game's definitely opened up a little bit. I think someone needs to just collect their bearings, get the ball, and relax it a little bit. You see people flying up and down the field. So it's definitely opening up.
And the substitution for the Welsh side, Kiefer Moore, has been very active. We mentioned Daniel James as another guy who can push the pace. He was almost non-existent in that first half. Not the case here in half number 2 with his substitution.
Yeah, I think he's in there kind of to be someone that can hold up the ball. He's a bigger body than Dan James. I think Wales are looking to try and hold the ball a little bit more, so he can be that guy that can link up, get it to his feet, one touch, lay it off, and run off of that.
53rd minute now, 1-0 the score. About 20 minutes ago in game time, we had the first and only goal of the match from Tim Weah. And a mistake in the defensive third. A long ball. Joe Rodon trying to switch the play for Wales. It goes out of bounds, and the United States have a throw-in in Welsh territory. Robinson will take it and send it forward. Looking for Pulisic. It's headed away. There's Adams. Now the Welsh defense controls again. Not much doing in that attack for the U.S. Here comes Wales. Down the left side, it's Williams. Dest plays him well and dispossesses. Cleared away by Weston McKennie. McKennie and Dest both on yellow cards, but still making an impact defensively. You see a situation where either one or even both of them can get subbed out in this half.
Yeah, I think McKennie more than Dest, just because we do have that depth in the midfield more than outside backs. But I think, if the game stays 1-0, we can't be cautious about our defending just because we're on yellows. I think that's something that wouldn't work in our favor. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see substitution coming for either one of those guys. But I think more McKennie than Dest. But we'll see.
For Dest, a guy to come in could be DeAndre Yedlin, the only member of the 2014 World Cup squad that is here in Qatar. And on the midfield, as you said, just a lot more options. Christian Roldan, Callan Acosta are guys that come to mind as potential replacements for McKennie on a yellow. Wales getting deep in the U.S. attacking third. It's cleared away. They're looking for Bale and Moore in the center of the park, but no dice. Now the counter comes for the U.S. Here's Pulisic cutting towards the middle. Looking for another one as wingers has the ball taken from him. Advantage played, and now the United States control possession. Wales pushing the pace a lot more, but it is still the U.S. in control of the tempo and the scoreboard in this game.
Yeah, you can definitely see Wales has a higher line, a little bit more pressure on the ball. It's going to lead to turnovers just like that. And the U.S. hasn't responded great to it. They're keeping the ball, they're possessing it, but they haven't really found many options going forward at the start of this half. And I think that's due to Wales's new line.
Good ball in for Wales. That's knocked down. Serginho Dest back making the stop as Joe Rodon was deep in the U.S. territory with an attack. Ball's out of bounds. Wales going to throw it in. United States has everyone in the box. A cross in. It's deflected away. Ramsey tries to keep it alive. Ream knocks it back. Sent in towards the box again. Down goes Ramsey, but no whistle. And Pulisic tries to clear it. The Welsh still have it, but they have to play it out of the back. All the way back to Wayne Hennessy now. 57th minute in Qatar. 1-0 the score. United States with the lead. Sent all the way forward. Trying to free up more. He is well defended by Tim Ream there. Still Welsh ball deep in the United States' territory.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some guys get up from the bench and start moving around a little bit, warming up. It's getting to that time in the game where we should start seeing some substitutions soon.
Approaching the 60th minute as a foul is called and a free kick deep in the defensive zone for the United States. Robinson leading the charge from the left back spot, a guy who is one of the main reasons, in my opinion, that the United States is here in Qatar. He had a spectacular run of play during the qualifiers and more of the same in the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah, he's really boosted the level of this team.
Ball bouncing off the head, ends up with Aaron Ramsey. Dest dispossesses him easily, and now he's going to spur a charge up the middle. Down goes Sargent up the middle, who's been quite quiet for the United States. Low cross in. Moore sends it backwards. Another cross, headed away. Now Williams. Could he try long distance? Looking to escape the U.S. defense. Josh Sargent coming back and defending very well. High arcing cross in, misses the back corner of the goal. Bale was the intended target, but it'll be a goal kick for the United States.
A lot of pressure now from Wales. They're really dictating the attack. U.S. did well to defend, but those balls that keep coming in, one of them could easily end up in the back of the net.
It was all USA chance-wise in the first half. No real chances on goal yet for either side in the second here, but it does seems to be Wales controlling the pace of this second half. Playing from the back. And Connor Roberts controls. Now back to the Welsh defense. Here's Ramsey in the middle of the park where he's most dangerous. A nice ball in and sent back to Moore. Long distance shot right into the feet of Walker Zimmerman. Welsh controlling right around midfield. 30 minutes remaining in the second half. United States in the lead. Robinson has that back. Pulisic fighting for it, and it's taken away. Wales really looking to free up their attackers, but the back line of the United States have controlled that front three for Wales almost effortlessly. Deflected away. Now Musa will get it on the counter. Wales has numbers back, but it's Pulisic with it on the left side. He turns. And now the U.S. will slow it up with Wales defending the counterattack expertly. Play switched all the way to Dest on the right side. The fullbacks for the United States pushing into the attacking third with just Riemann Zimmerman back for United States. But the Americans in control. Weah looking to get himself free. Ball in towards the center. Pulisic has it on the left wing. He goes down. He wants a penalty and he'll get one. Or he won't. I thought the ref was pointing the spot right there.
It did look like that, but I think it's a goal kick. That could have very well been a penalty, but it's a great attacking movement from USA there. I'm curious to see if VAR is going to take a look at this. Ooh,
if I'm
seems
the
to have
U.S.,
got
I'd
the
be
ball.
arguing a lot more for VAR. No penalty there. Apologies. It was Connor Roberts making the tackle. Knocked the ball off Pulisic's leg, but on replay, it looked like he tripped up the American talisman. But now it's Roberts again trying to keep the ball inbounds. He will not. Saves a goal kick, but a throw in for the United States. 63rd minute.
Definitely the best chance the U.S. has had so far in the second half. It's another one of those quick counter, quick moving attacks.
That's what you want to expect from the younger teams that bring the pace, a lot of talented players, particularly on the wings, and the USA is certainly delivering. As Roberts goes down, Welsh looking for a quick free kick. The United States players voicing their frustration with the referees here in Qatar. That was another one that did not look like it should have been called a foul, but a deep free kick for Wales. It's Wilson and Ramsey standing over the ball on the right side of the pitch. Free kick around 40 yards out for the Welsh. A few feet in from the right sideline. Here's Wilson. Sends in the in-swinger, headed away, but still trouble for Wales. Knocked away by Adams. Ball headed in, a great save, Matt Turner. Ben Davies had a header destined for the top, but he is denied by the Arsenal and American keeper. Corner kick, Wales.
And that's why he's earned the starting job. Saves like that.
And the ball just bouncing around heads. That is the best chance by far that Wales has had all match. And a fingertip save from Matt Turner keeps a 0 in the column for the Welsh. Turner shelling out instructions. In swinging corner. A header over the net. And a new best chance coming from Wales. Kiefer Moore jumped clear of the United States defense, but over the top of the header. And it is sent over the net for a harmless goal kick.
Wales are getting dangerously close to leveling the score right now.
You can see the replays if you're watching in the stream as well. A beautiful save from Turner after they showed Kiefer Moore with time and space and height clear of just about everyone as the United States will take their first substitution. An interesting one with a more offensive-minded midfielder in Brendan Aronson, but Weston McKennie on a yellow card will be the first man subbed out for the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, and Aronson and McKennie are two totally different players in terms of what they bring to the table. So it'll be interesting to see what Aronson's role, what he can bring to the attack for the U.S. going forward.
Here's Sargent. Back to Robinson. United States deep in the attacking third. Pulisic switches the play. Now Dest. Aronson getting his first touch, wearing number 11 for the United States. Dest has it on the right side. Cutting towards the middle. He goes to ground. No foul called, and here comes Wales. 4-on-2 now. Numbers back for the United States. Kiefer Moore has it in the middle of the park. Williams has it knocked away. United States now. They might have a bit of a fast break. 3-on-3. Way is getting loose on the right side, but Aronson has it dispossessed right down the middle. Had a couple options on the wing. Chose to take it himself. United States still in control here. Musa. Over to Robinson. Now Musa again. Back to Tyler Adams. 2/3 of the way done. 1-0 the score. USA in the lead. And there's the goal scorer in Tim Weah on the right side. Fighting with Williams. And the ball gets clear. And Williams goes down holding his lower back. Clamoring for a foul on Tim Weah. But, I mean, it just looks like a flop to me.
Yeah, and this is what Weah has does so well is his ability to take people 1v1 and earn corners, earn fouls, and beat players. He really stepped up his creating game for the U.S. and as we saw with the goal, he's having a good game today.
And the trainer's on for the Welsh as Callum Acosta gets his shin guards on, looking to come in for the United States. Some injury time being waited for on the match. As Wales coming off of an attack where they had their two best chances in this early games of the World Cup. Davies had a header denied by Matt Turner, and Kiefer Moore sent one over the bar in what looked like a shoo-in.
Kiefer Moore has definitely had a positive impact for this Welsh side. He's only been in for 20-something minutes, and I've heard his name more. We've said his name more than we had Dan James's the first half.
And a lot of guys getting loose for the United States. Some potential substitutions getting warm with DeAndre Yedlin and Callum Acosta looking the most ready. And also one of the newer names on the U.S. roster in Haji Wright. But first, it's a corner kick for the United States. Williams will not be subbed off after going down with some contact on his lower back. It'll be Pulisic sending the fourth corner of the day in for the United States. Another chance for the Americans to try and get a decisive second goal. The outswinging ball headed away by Moore. Adams sends it back to Pulisic. He's played on. Pulisic trying to cut towards the middle. Low cross, knocked away. Pulisic gets it back. And he is tussling. Pulisic fighting for it. Low cross, deflected. Aronson with it. Musa sends it, and it's knocked away by Aaron Ramsey. Wales will clear it. United States will still keep possession here with a 1-0 lead, and a lot good chances on corner kick. Pulisic came up hobbling, but play will not stop. He seems to be all right as Musa goes down. Wales in control now, middle of the park. Moore and Bale go 1-2, and that's a nice play by Brennan Aronson to take it away from Kiefer Moore. Pulisic is knocked down, and it's Yunus Musa who will control it. And with Pulisic down now, holding his right calf towards the midfield, Musa kicks it out of bounds to stop play.
Yeah, that's definitely a cause for concern for the United States fans out here. We'll see if this is more than what it seems like. Don't really know why he came up hobbling after the one play. Must have gotten hit, but hopefully he'll be all right. And we'll see if Beerhalter decides to take him off or not.
Yeah, he was making some contact with Chris Mepham already on a yellow card, and Gareth Bale already on a yellow card as well. And Pulisic has really been the face of American soccer for the last couple of years. Broke in with Borussia Dortmund, won the Champions League with Chelsea a couple of years ago. When healthy, he is the best American player, but injuries have kept him out of more European matches than he would like. He appears to be fine, walking it off. Now on the sideline with the referee, ready to go back in. So it doesn't look like Pulisic will be subbed off yet, and I think that's a very good sign for the United States.
Yeah, really good sign.
Turner boots it across midfield. Wales controls. After, I think that's Luca De La Torre who came in. Trying to get the word. They didn't announce any substitutions that I saw, but I did see a number 14. I could be wrong, but we'll get updates on that as soon as we can. Still 1-0 the score. United States in the lead. 73rd minute now. in the World Cup.
Dest is
USA, who
really
had
sorry. I was
oh,
gonna
you're
say
all good.
Dest has really surprised me today with his defensive ability. I know that was a little cause for concern with some people. How good was he defensively? I mean, he's already on a yellow, but he has been winning the ball a lot in the back and stopping these Welsh attacks.
Yeah, the back line for the United States has been spectacular.
Yeah,
Ream and Zimmerman have completely controlled the middle of that field. And then Destin Robinson both have been good on defense and some offensive attacks as well.
yeah. There's the center back pairing it's intimidating. They're both really tall, big body guys, and they're using that to their advantage today.
Yunus Musa down, just kind of seems like he's stretching out his legs. The 19-year-old youngest capped player in the World Cup for the United States, over 19 years old. As there are 3 Americans appearing ready to come in.
Yeah, I don't know what the weather's looking like in Australia right now, but something that could be very easy to forget is that it is still very hot in Qatar right now. Playing for 75 minutes in the heat is going to take a little toll on your body. So yeah, people getting some water breaks. It's not winter over there. It's not snowing, but um,
So 3 substitutions coming in for the United States. Off for the Americans, Serginho Dest, Yunus Musa, and Josh Sargent. In for the Americans, DeAndre Yedlin, Kellen Acosta, and Haji Wright. Seems like 3 straight swaps for Greg Berhalter's side.
yeah, and I don't mind it at all. I agree with his subs. I like that he got both the guys who were on the yellow cards uh, off the field. I think the guys coming in right now can close this game out for the U.S.
And DeAndre Yedlin providing the same kind of offensive spark as Pulisic trying to do that for the Americans. A nice low cross, but it's taken away. Now Adams controls. Left side with Robinson, looking for the cross in, trying to find Weah. He can't. And now DeAndre Yedlin will get his first touch. Only American player from 2014 that is still on the World Cup side. And Haji Wright making his World Cup debut for the United States. Wales clears their way. They have not found a dangerous attack in the run of play. Their work coming off of corner kicks and free kicks. But Ben Davies' header was the big chance, and Kiefer Moore sent one over the wall. USA has a throw-in with Yedlin deep into their own territory. So a long throw gets it up the middle. Right, Acosta looking to make an impact. Pulisic has it. Speeding past him is Jedi Robinson. Back to Pulisic. Cleared away emphatically by the Welsh defense. Corner kick number 5 coming up for the Americans. Ethan Ampadu getting the vital clearance. It'll be Pulisic standing over it. 14 minutes remaining in regulation. United States 1-0. And their corner kicks have not really been that threatening. Pulisic trying to change the narrative. Off his right foot, he'll send an in-swinger in. High arcing ball. The header missed. Brendan Aronson the target, but unable to get clean contact on it. Knocks it right out of bounds for a goal kick.
It's better from U.S. on their set pieces. All the ones, like you mentioned before, have not really come to anything. I think that's the first one they got a shot off of. But yeah, just being able to execute on those set pieces is huge.
And they still look better and better each time. United States is not a team that gets a lot of their goals on set pieces. They love to attack you with speed and counter-attacking ability. As now the ball sent towards the middle of the park. Ramsey has it for Wales. Back to Mepham. Chip pass in, deflected away. Still trouble as Yedlin goes to ground to clear it. Now the United States can reset a little bit. Wales was trying to turn that into what would have been a vicious counter. That's how he scored the first goal. And now Wilson is with the referee after he made some contact with Tim Weah. He was getting ready to make a run. Referee making sure Weah is okay. His right shin and right foot got the contact from Wilson.
Ooh, that's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, not great. And that is going to leave to the another substitution for Wales. Neco Williams is going off, and Brennan Johnson coming in. The Welsh side trying to inject some more offense into their team. Number 9 for Wales, Brennan Johnson coming on. It's the second substitution of the day for the Welsh side.
Yeah, I find that a little surprising that they've only made 2 substitutions so far. It's getting late in the game, and they need to push for this goal. And only making 2 subs so far, it's a little unique.
And that's been the big question for Wales's national team for quite some time now. The star power is there. Aaron Ramsey has played with some of the biggest clubs in the world. He's now with the Rangers of Scotland, but he's spent some time with Juventus, Arsenal as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Gareth Bale, obviously, he had the transfer fee record for a couple of years when signing from Tottenham, going to Real Madrid back in 2013. But the depth has been a concern for Wales, and the United States are looking to exploit that as Johnson gets his first touch, trying to keep the ball in play. Defended well by Robinson, but Wales still controls. And the USA just swarming towards the ball. Welsh quickly sending it in. Ramsey sends it towards the center. A dangerous tackle. And I think the ref is pointing to the spot.
That is unfortunate. I need to see a replay on this one. It looked in real time like he got a little bit of the ball, but just went through the man. But without
on Zimmerman on Bale, and that is clear day.
Yeah.
The legs got tangled up. Bit of a reach for the ball, but Gareth Bale in the center of the penalty box, one-on-one, would be dangerous. And now he should get a chance to tie this game up, and it will be Bale at the spot. No card for Zimmerman, but Wales with a chance to tie it in the 81st minute. It's 1-0. And now it comes down to Matt Turner and Gareth Bale. 8 penalty goals that he has made, 1 saved, 1 miss in 10 total attempts. The Welsh goal-scoring leader now stepping up to the spot as Turner talking with the referee, making sure he's going to be on his line in net. Gareth Bale, the face of Wales soccer for just shy of a decade now, has a chance to tie it up on the world's biggest stage. The whistle blows, and the kick up and good. Gareth Bale ties it up for Wales. Cool as you like. A dangerous penalty, and now the Welsh faithful erupts. 1-1 in the 82nd minute.
Yeah, that was a great penalty. Power, pace, accuracy. Turner went the right way, but he still didn't have a chance to save that.
Yeah, you could have. He would have he'd been better off just building a wall, and it still would have broken through it. I mean, that was just an absolutely crushed penalty from Bale, who's now trying to hype up the Wales fans in Qatar. Bailed out by a mistake.
His first mistake of the game too. He's
Yeah.
had a nearly flawless game, and first mental lapse leads to a goal for Wales.
And I mean, in that situation, there's not much you could do because it was down to Zimmerman and Bale in the middle of the 18-yard box, pretty much right at the penalty spot.
Hmm.
He just had to make Bale earn it the hard way.
Yeah.
Now we could see more pressure from the United States. They have two of their three men with yellow cards out of the match. Just Tim Ream on a yellow in the center of the park. Zimmerman was close to picking one up for himself, but still costly as this game is now tied. 82nd minute goal for Bale, 36-minute goal for Weah. And now the United States getting some extra aggression. Aronson called for a foul. A close call, and Gareth Bale, 41 goals for the Welsh national team. "13 clear of Ian Rush as the all-time leader for goals for Wales. 9th penalty kick scored for Gareth Bale in Wales's uniform. 1-1 the score, and what looked to be an all-American game, a dominant performance marred by a penalty kick.
Bale always seems to step up when he's wearing the Welsh badge. He's had a lot of clutch goals for them in the past.
That's just something he's done his entire career. I never understood why Real Madrid fans got so upset with him because so many big games were won off of his left foot.
Mhm.
Copa del Rey in 2014 comes to mind, that incredible solo goal where he ran circles around Marc Bartra and their arch rival Barcelona. 2 in the Champions League against Liverpool a few years back. Yet, according to Real Madrid's fans, he did not live up to expectations set when they made that Galactico transfer. The first 100 million euro man.
Wow. Well deserved of it too. He was incredible for Tottenham and was thought to do great things for Madrid. I know there is a little controversy with him being in a Madrid shirt, but I do agree he's scored huge goals for that club.
High cross from Robinson, knocked away. And a couple of headers get it back on the foot of Tyler Adams. But I'm one of the few Real Madrid fans that thinks that Gareth Bale to Madrid, yeah, it could have been a lot more. You do have a lot higher expectations for a transfer or for a record transfer. But at the end of the day, they would not have won at least one of those Champions
Yeah,
Leagues without him, a couple of those La Liga titles, and one of those Copa del Reys against Barcelona, which is still to this day one of the most incredible individual goals I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, the pure speed.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Now Yedlin sends in a cross, easy headed away by the Welsh. And Yedlin might be pushing forward even further than the man he replaced in Serginho Dest, as the United States desperately look for a go-ahead goal late. Aronson back to Yedlin. Dummies another cross as Aronson controls again. Here's Weah. A cross in. Tries to find the head of Pulisic, but it's knocked away. Robinson keeps it in bounds, and now it's Brennan Johnson who controls it. He falls, and a foul will be called on the Jedi, Anthony Robinson. We are all square at 1. We'll not see a card from the referee. He's just trying to keep the players calm. As we are all tied up. 4 minutes to go in regulation. As another look at that penalty from Bale. Just pure pace on that strike. And it looks like we're going to have another substitution for the United States. Jordan Morris coming on to replace Tim Weah. And as good as Weah has been today, Morris is just a professional left winger.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really good move late in the game from Berhalter. We've seen him spur some late attacks on many an occasion in the MLS and in the national stage for the United States.
Yeah, I mean, with 3 minutes left, you don't have much to lose in a 1-1 game. So I like Morris. I think he's something with these last 3 minutes. He can create a little spark for the U.S.
Turner snatched a cross out of the air from Aaron Ramsey. And now Turner will send a long kick forward as the United States has some numbers. Here's Acosta. He's been quiet since subbed on. And now Morris with his first touch. Morris cutting in. Cross deflected. Yedlin has it. Sends it in. Punched away by Hennessy. Right back to Yedlin, though. Looking for Haji Wright. Unsuccessful. And now Wales has it. A nice little back flick. Brennan Johnson coming right. Shot right at Turner. He eats it in the chest.
Well done by Turner.
His positioning is just always so on point. And there's a foul right around the center circle. Wilson trying to play that off as him and Aronson knock knees. But United States will control it. And now Wilson is down.
It's a great counter by the Welsh team right there. Unfortunate not to finish, but it was a great save and great positioning from Turner.
Really, the only time we've seen them work off of the counter. That's the United States MO.
I know.
Well, showing some life after that Gareth Bale goal. United States searching for a hero. 1 minute before extra time. Bale's penalty evened things out.
And this is why people do question back. This is why people do question the United States. You know, they come into this game as favorites with a much better squad as Wales, and sometimes they just don't have the ability to get the results. And on the biggest stage now, this is the worst time to, you know, play down to your opponent.
This was not really a game that should be in doubt for the United States, just because they've played so well in the early goings of this game. As there will be another substitution and 9 minutes of extra time flashed up. So still plenty of time for the United States to turn this one back around. But another substitution for the Welsh. I'm trying to see who came on. I know Sorba Thomas is coming on, a midfielder for Huddersfield Town. Not sure who he's taken off yet, though. United States slowing it up.
Key for these last 9 minutes, you got to have as much as the ball as possible. Possess. Don't force anything. Don't panic. You still have a lot of time. Get the right opportunity, but keep the ball as long as you can.
Long distance shot blocked away. Now it squirts all the way back in the U.S. defensive zone with Zimmerman. Yedlin to Adams as another Welsh player is down. That is Ampadu. Holding on to his leg right around midfield, and we've seen a couple of those Welsh players staying down a little bit longer towards the end of this game.
If that's a late reaction to his little collision in the midfield, or he's cramping, I guess we'll see. Ooh, yeah.
He got a ball and a little leg-to-leg contact from Walker Zimmerman. Well, I don't think it's enough to be rolling around on the ground, but maybe that's just me. And there's the substitution coming for Wales. Harry Wilson will come off. Sorba Thomas, the Huddersfield Town midfielder, will make his World Cup debut. A late substitution, 7 minutes left of extra time. We are all tied up at 1. But this does feel like drop points for the United States.
It does, and a tie is not the worst thing in the world. You still advance, tying a game or two, but it definitely does feel like drop points. I feel like the U.S. had expectations to win this game. A lot of people had expectations for the U.S. to win this game, and as of now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But you never know. 6 minutes left. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot can always change, particularly with the way the United States goes about their counterattacks. Very quick strike style team as they'll start playing it through their defense. Here's Robinson. You see a lot more pressure from Wales. Robinson forced to send it back to Turner. High arcing ball bouncing all the way towards Wayne Hennessy. He'll scoop it up. In extra time here, or added time, I should say. 3 of 9 minutes elapsed. 1-1 the score. Johnson speeding forward with a chance. He has it knocked away. Kiefer Moore now sends it back to the Welsh midfield. Chip ball for Dice. And it's bouncing around. Robinson heads it back. Now Adams, and out of bounds for the U.S. Five minutes remaining in this game, a tie match at 1. As Ampadu sitting on the tip line at the center of the pitch, the ref telling him to get up quickly. And we might see another substitution for Wales. So this is the second time that Ampadu has been down, stretching, cramping a little bit. And it's like you said, Carter, that the heat of Qatar is starting to get to him, and that's going to be enough. Off goes Ethan Ampadu, and on comes Joe Morrell.
See what he can bring for the last 2 minutes.
A foul near midfield. United States trying to quickly get the ball back. The Welsh taking advantage of an American mistake. Walker Zimmerman fouled Gareth Bale in the box in the 80th minute. And then Bale slotted a penalty home in the 82nd. United States barely a shot on goal, barely a shot at all in this second half. It's been a much slower game, and the USA needs to bring a little speed if they want to get the full 3 points from this. They were leading 1-0 for almost an hour. Now Pulisic cuts towards the center. High arcing cross, run misread by Aronson, but he maintains control. Yedlin sends a high arcing pass. Hennessy punches it up. Pulisic controls, and now it's Robinson. Robinson wanted a handball as that was deflected away, sent back forward by Ream, and that's going to roll all the way out of bounds for a goal kick. Three minutes remaining in added time. The Wales fans trying to urge their team to just hang on. And you can tell that there's frustration in the U.S. side.
Yeah. And excitement, and like Wales fans, Wales players seem a little happy, you know. I think they would be happy taking a point from the US. It's a good way to start off your season, or start off the campaign, when you're one of the underdogs of your group.
And it really seems to be these two teams are in the main two in contention for that second spot, particularly after how the first match went.
Yeah.
It seems like England is a virtual lock to advance. That has been really the chalk, as people have been saying. but this shows that the number 2 spot in Group B is very much in contention. United States seemed to be outplaying Wales for most of this match, and then a penalty chance as now Moore tries to control it. USA desperately needs to clear it, and they do. Trying to inject some pace into it. Here come the Americans with Acosta. And that's knocked away. Now Ramsey in control. Long distance shot faked. A nice play by Adams to dispossess. USA on the counter. Aronson trying to get himself room. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Morel. Aronson on the throw-in. Yedlin to Adams. Now back to Adams. Ball gets away from Brendan Aronson, and Wales will clear it. USA trying to spur themselves on in a counterattack. Wales just trying to keep this game locked.
Maybe time for one more chance, but it does seem like this is how 1-1 is going to be the way this match ends.
Both sides looking tired at the end of this match. A deep free kick for the U.S. as they try and get something going. Zimmerman has it. They're just passing it back and forth right now. There's Ream to Robinson. U.S. not pushing too hard to move it forward in the final minute of added time. Playing it from the back. Zimmerman and Ream going back and forth. USA looking to open something up. Robinson sends a high arcing cross. That's knocked back in bounds by Wales. But it's right back to Acosta. Sends it up the middle. Now Yedlin. The chip pass knocked away. Here's Morris. One last gasp for the U.S. Deflected away. Wales should clear it. And we'll see if the refs give them a chance. As all the way out is Turner. He almost committed a handball. Wales looking for one last chance as a foul's called. And a yellow is taken out of the ref's pocket, shown to Kellen Acosta. In the 10th minute of added time, well, it was supposed to be +9, and a clear yellow card as Acosta pushed Bale down, and got the ball from him.
Once again, smart foul in my opinion. Turner was way off his line, so I think that's the smart thing to do. Take the card, bring Bale down.
But that should be it. One last potential chance for Wales. A long free kick right into the arms of Matt Turner, and he will punt this game away. Final time in Qatar, 1-1 the score. And for Wales, it's Gareth Bale that comes up huge. An 82nd minute penalty kick ties this game up. Timothy Weah getting his first World Cup goal in the 36, but a disappointing finish to a match that looked like it was all USA from the start.
Yeah, indeed. Like we said earlier, feels more like a win for Wales and more like a loss for USA. But both teams get 1 point, get the recoup, and then have their next game Friday.
United States will have a post-Thanksgiving date with their arch rival British, and Wales will face the Iranian national team. Wales and both teams in this game need to pick up points in game 2. United States, though, have a much tougher task.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll see how Wales puts up a fight against Iran. Obviously, England is a lot better than Wales. So it'll be cool to compare how well Wales will do against Iran. Because I'm not too sure that they're going to put up 6 goals past them.
We certainly will see. Only one goal past the Welsh, a 36-minute strike from Tim Weah on a counterattack. Anthony Robinson getting an assist as well, both their first times on the World Cup score sheet. But it was a tale of two halves for the United States. Wales really came out and controlled the ball a lot more in the second half, where it was the United States who was dominating in the first.
Yeah, correct. And
So
we'll
one
see.
one.
We'll see
Sorry,
how the
Carter.
USA carries this into the next game. What changes they're going to make? Are they going to come out with the same lineup? I doubt they are, but I'll be interested to see what Beerhalter is going to do with the squad for Friday.
Now, do you think that with the added firepower of the British team, do you think that he goes more offensive or defensive to try and counter that?
It's going to be tough. I don't think we can play too timid and just sit back and defend. But at the same time, if we take a beating like Iran did today, we're virtually out of the tournament. Um, so I think he'll need to find a good balance between, the defense and the offense. The defense I thought was great today, but besides the one penalty that led to the goal, I thought the defense played well. And I think they'll continue to play well in this tournament.
Yeah, a lot of it, I don't want to say this is too telling of how the U.S. is going to show, because the first half made it look like the States team were that dark horse that Berhalter's been saying they are. He has repeatedly contended that at their best, the U.S. national team can compete with any team in the world, and in the first half, that certainly looked to be the case.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. If we played like we did in the first half against England, I think it'll be a very tight match. I do think, on paper they may have better squad, they may have more depth and more talent than us. But I do think that if we show how we can play like we did in this first half, I think it'll be a good game and a good test for England too. I don't think it'll be they'll be able to steamroll us over as easy as they did this morning.
But they certainly steamrolled the Iranian national team 6-2. The score. Mehdi Taremi scored both for Iran, two from Bukayo Saka for England. But other than that, they spread the ball around very well.
Yeah, yeah. The movement was great. Their young guys really came to play. Saka with 2 goals, and just their depth overall too. Everyone who came in made an impact. So yeah, I cannot wait for Friday. It's gonna be fun.
Some good takes and some bad takes from the United States team. Definitely some positive things, but one thing do you think they need to improve on for the British for the game against England? What do you think that would be?
I think they're set pieces and final delivery. I know we're a team that doesn't score from set pieces a lot. I know we're more of an open play counter attack team, but even in the first half, when Pulisic was taking corner kicks or we were crossing, um, they weren't connecting. They weren't getting over the first man. And you don't have to be score. You don't have to score on every single one, but you at least need to threaten and be a little bit dangerous on them. So I think if we square that up, really focus and work on the set pieces, the corner kicks, the crosses, I think that'll only be to our improvement for the next game.
Certainly room for improvement, and certainly need for improvement, as the United States need to pick up points against England. They will certainly need England to put the thumping on Wales on Friday, or on the next week when they play Iran. But one match at a time, a rivalry contest that will be on State of Soccer. I will have the call for that one, as the United States and England will will be here on State of Soccer. We've got games all week long in the World Cup. It'll be me and Adam Turner right around 2 p.m. on November 25th. That's Eastern time. But tomorrow we've got some morning soccer. Jill Guerin's going to make her State of Soccer debut. Mexico versus Poland. That's going to be a really exciting match. You got Robert Lewandowski against a Mexican team without some of its stars, Chicharito and Carlos Vela not included in the Mexican World Cup squad. So a lot more on their younger players for tomorrow's. You have a little preview of that one for us?
Yeah, I mean, Poland, kind of like Wales, is more of a one-man team. They have their number 9, their goal scorer, and they rely on him a lot. Mexico, on the other hand, they've always been good. They've always been that dark horse that we've been talking about with US. They have potential every year to surprise and make it to the quarters or the semis. They just have a well-balanced squad overall. So I think it'll be I think Mexico will be a little bit more favored than Poland, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lewandowski bang in 2 goals tomorrow.
Well, I'll definitely be watching, but Jill Gearin will take the play-by-play. Coverage begins at 11 a.m., so grab your coffees and join us tomorrow for some more World Cup soccer, and then Carter and I will be back for Belgium and Canada before we take a day off on Thanksgiving. Want to give a big shout-out to McKenna May behind the scenes in the studio, spinning the dials, putting everything up on the screens. Make sure to subscribe to our channels as well. You can see our social media stuff right down there, Instagram, Twitter, and of course our YouTube channel here on State of Soccer TV. Thanks to Brian McDonough as well for setting all this up. He's in the fan village in Qatar. We'll hopefully get some better Wi-Fi connection from him, but we've got some cool content from him coming out. And also, more importantly, you guys, everyone in the comment section, staying active. John Graber and Declan Moody were active all game. Brennan Droll somehow thinks that I'm good at soccer. I'm going to hate to burst his bubble with that one, but that's just not a sight anyone wants to see. So I'll stick with the booth, and you can join Carter and me again on Friday, but make sure to tune in to State of Soccer's next broadcast, 11 a.m. tomorrow, Mexican, Poland, right here. For McKenna May, Brian McDonough, for my broadcast partner, Carter Houlihan, I want to give a big thank you to all of you guys. And, of course, everyone for watching in. We really appreciate you staying active and joining our broadcast. We hope you'll join as we have 10 more World Cup group stage matches coming up. And, of course, we have to give a big, big thank you to our sponsors at GOLZ.TV. The sponsor of today's live stream of today's video, similar to YouTube, GOLZ is a streaming platform, but they exclusively stream soccer content. We love what they're doing over there and want them. We watch some of our favorite content on that channel. They've got great content creators on that platform, and it's completely free to use. So go to GOLZ.TV or click the link right underneath this video to check them out as well. GOLZ TV/catalog flashed up for you there as well. But on behalf of McKenna May in the studio, Brian McDonough from Qatar, my broadcast partner, Carter Houlihan, I'm Josh Sperber. I'll see you guys in a couple of days, but don't make sure to tune right back into State of Soccer tomorrow for Mexico and Poland. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we've got a whole lot more World Cup content coming your way on State of Soccer.